All right.
Typically, these first scrimmages after a break are a little ragged. Was it a little ragged out there today?
Yeah, I mean, we were not. I mean, we'd have gotten beat if we'd have played a game today. That's for sure. But there was a lot of good. I mean, there really was. I saw a lot of good things on both sides, but just too many things that we control that we didn't do a good job of with. I mean, inconsistent. With our snaps, we had some ball handling stuff. We had a couple turnovers. Defensively, we were charitable at times, jumping off sides, had a couple of penalties. So again, first scrimmage, repping 3 groups, and a bunch of these guys, it's kind of their first time to really get a legitimate shot. And but we'll get better from it. I don't have any doubt about it. They worked hard, they competed. Big Dexter had a pick on his first snap. And Renfro hawked him down and just tomahawked him, and it was unbelievable. So there was some fun stuff. I thought Fuller ran well. I thought Choice ran well. Wayne was Wayne. Deshaun did some good things. We repped the other quarterbacks a bunch of snaps as well. Travion really started slow, but really finished strong. It was good to see that. We started him today, and he caused a pick in the red zone on the open drive, and so we demoted him. And he didn't pout. He came back and had 2 huge plays, and one of them a touchdown. So it was good to see him respond the right way. But he's got to be ready. You got to show up ready to compete. A lot of good things that are happening, but we're a work in progress, and we got a bunch of moving parts right now. And we'll get there. So hopefully the guys that did well today can be consistent next week and show that consistency, and the guys that maybe didn't do quite as well as they would like will improve. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, is just keep getting better. Again, still the same things I said the other day. I like their chemistry, and if we can continue to compete like we're competing, we're going to be just fine.
Is there any separation at defensive end? Is anybody starting to set forward?
Nah, they're all kind of, just bundled in there competing. I mean, we're a long way away from saying, hey, man, they're the guy. And I think it's a situation where whoever ends up starting, there's going to be a lot of competition and guys that are going to deserve to play. But I am very pleased as far as just the ability that I've seen and the want to from Austin. He's played a lot. He's pretty confident. Really pleased with Cleveland. He's going to be a good player. He's got a lot to learn. Jumped offside today. Critical situation. Yergin is really blossoming. He's showing up. I think Register's improving a ton. So I'm pleased with that group. We'll get Xavier. I'm anxious to get Xavier in here, this summer and see how he mixes. And then one other thing that I think we've found out that I didn't really know is Wilkins can play in. So I'm really excited about what I've seen out of him. Because that kind of gives us a wild card. Because we've got really good depth inside, and we're just inexperienced. We're talented, but inexperienced on the edges right now. And Samuel's he's got a ways to go physically. Got a big motor for the game, physical. Wants to be a good player, but he's got to develop physically. Xavier physically will be ready, but I don't know where he's going to be mentally and all that stuff as a freshman. But coming out of this spring and knowing that hey, Wilkins, not only can he play in, he can play well. He can do everything we need him to do, and that's probably been the biggest, not surprise, but comforting piece of knowledge that I've been able to get this spring. Because again, I really wasn't sure, but he can bounce around and can be a good player, obviously inside, but also add to the depth. Kind of like Ryan Carter gives us the ability to have some good, a little more veteran depth at corner and safety. And I think Christian can bring that same thing in that defensive line, which is going to be big.
Did you guys do any live special teams work
We did.
today?
We did live kickoffs, live punting, punt return, kick return. Yep. We we've really worked hard, and today was the first time that we spent the majority of our time on fundamentals and drills and film work and trying to really make sure that they truly understand what we want them to do. And today was the first time that we put it all together, and I thought we did a nice job. I had some guys show up. I'm anxious to watch it. You know, Muse is one guy that just jumps in my head that okay, this kid is going to be a special teams demon, and he's really just showing up. You see his speed showing up because he's just more confident, you know. So I'm anxious to watch that tape because I think we got a lot of guys that you know, want to be involved in the teams, and you know, we'll keep working at it.
Is Hugo still your guy at kickoff?
Hugo kicked off well. He really kicked off well. In fact, he kicked into the wind. The first one, he kicked it about 4 yards deep into the end zone. The biggest thing with him is just, you know, maturity and strength and growing. I mean, he can do it. He's got the leg. And then, you know, Spence is doing a good job. And then Skowski's going to get a shot, you know, to be the guy. He's going to get his shot when he gets here, so we'll see how it all plays out.
How's Kelly Bryant doing in his development just from a
Doing good. He's doing good. We can win with Kelly. He can win for us. I mean, doubt about it.
Any separation at right guard between Maverick and Tyrone?
Just battling. I mean, to me, there's not a lot of difference between them. They both do good things, and we think an awful lot of Crowder, and he is a powerful, you know, man in there, and it's the same thing for Mav. Man, I can't say enough of good things about him. I mean, we've got a really, I mean, we're very blessed with the guys we got in that offensive line, and man, Hearn is starting to come on. I mean, we've got, and Falcinelli. Robbie would probably tell you this. You know, Falcinelli could be as good as we've had come through here. I mean, he really has that type of ability. It's just a matter of him really making his mind up, you know, some of the little things. He's a brilliant young man, but sometimes he's not as focused football-wise as he needs to be. Man, he's just going to be a sophomore, but he's a guy that has a chance. And then, you know, Giella is starting to become a physical player for us. Noah has been out the last day or so. Hopefully we'll get him back here in another day or so. And then but those two young ones, Pollard and Anchor, them two right there, well, I'm glad they're on our team. Both those young men got bright futures for us, with no question about it. They got the right stuff.
Do you see the offensive line maintaining that same kind of chemistry that they had
with
Ryan?
Oh, yeah. No doubt. I mean, that's a close group. I mean, you know, Robbie's done a great job, and, you know, the leadership has emerged. I mean, Jay is doing a phenomenal job. But there's a lot of pride in that room, you know, and Frew and Mitch, even though they're just sophomores, those are two guys that are very serious about it. I mean, they're just a bunch of committed guys. There's not a lot of baloney going on with them guys. They want to be a special group, and they understand that, hey, they got a great quarterback back there, and a bunch of backs, and a bunch of, you know, frisbee catching dogs outside that you know, they got a chance to run. The best thing about an offensive lineman is being able to run, chase some chains, and if they do their job, and man, they take pride in that.
Did you have any tight ends jump out at you today?
I saw Mylan out there today. I thought he made a nice play in our short yardage deal, which is, you know, the receiving part of it is, you know, we always, I think he's improved greatly from a physical standpoint, but we really need him to be a presence for us in that passing game, you know, like Leggett. Cannon is, they're all different. They all bring different things to the table. And Cannon is really improved. I tell you, the guy that's improving is Greenlee. He is really just, it's like he just kind of made his mind up that, all right, it's time for me to make a contribution here. And so I'm really in a positive mindset about him right now. I'm pleased with him. And then Garrett, man, you don't have a more committed guy on this team. And Garrett is kind of the high. I mean, he brings that presence, that toughness, and the thing with him is really developing as as a route runner. He got good hands and can run, but becoming a more polished guy in that part of his game. Obviously didn't ask him to do a lot of that last year, but that's going to grow as he progresses through his career.
Is Kendall owning that Mike spot, or can Trey push him a